PCA Nematodes Exam newest. Question 1. What is the typical range in length for plant-feeding nematodes? 1 mm to 5 cm, 0.25 to 12 mm, 10 cm to 20 cm, microscopic only, no variation. Plant-parasitic nematodes exhibit great variability in size, typically ranging from 0.25 micrometers, to 12 mm, While they are generally microscopic, some species at the larger end of the spectrum can be seen with minimal magnification when they are in their swollen adult forms on root systems. Question 2. Which of the following represents the correct sequence of life stages for most plant-parasitic nematodes? Egg, larva, pupa, adult. Egg, juvenile 1, J1, J2, J3, J4, adult. Spore, cyst, adult. J1, J2, J3, J4, J5, adult. Nematodes follow a specific molting cycle. Most species progress through the egg stage, followed by 4 juvenile stages, J1 through J4, and finally the adult stage. The J2 stage is frequently the infective stage that searches for and enters the host plant tissue. Question 3. In root knot nematodes, Meloidogyne spp, which statement best describes the morphological difference between adult males and females? Both are needle-like and mobile. Both are swollen and sedentary. Females are round/swollen, while males remain vermiform, worm-shaped. Males are larger than females and possess wings. Meloidogyne species exhibit extreme sexual dimorphism. As the female matures and feeds, she loses her worm-like shape and becomes pear-shaped or round to accommodate egg production. The males, however, retain their mobile, needle-like vermiform shape to navigate the soil and find mates. Question 4. What does the term vermiform specifically mean in nematology? Ball-shaped, worm-shaped, egg-bearing, hard-shelled. Vermiform comes from the Latin word for worm. In the nematode life cycle, vermiform stages are typically the mobile stages. Once certain species, like cyst or root knot, become sedentary and begin to feed, they lose this worm-like shape and become swollen. Question 5. What is the name of the specialized feeding apparatus used by plant-parasitic nematodes to pierce cell walls? Mandible, proboscis, stylet, maxilla. The stylet is a hollow, needle-like structure located in the head of the nematode. It functions like a hypodermic needle. The nematode uses muscles to thrust the stylet into plant cells to inject enzymes and suck out liquefied nutrients. Only plant-parasitic nematodes possess this specific structure. Question 6. Which group of nematodes is characterized by the adult female dying and leaving behind a protective, egg-filled leathery shell? Root knot nematodes, lesion nematodes, cyst nematodes, dagger nematodes. Cyst nematodes, Heterodera and Globodera spp, are unique because the female's body wall hardens into a brown, leathery cyst after she dies. This cyst protects the hundreds of eggs inside from environmental stress and predators, allowing them to survive in the soil for several years until a host is present. Question 7. What are the 3 primary environmental factors that influence how long it takes a nematode to complete its life cycle? Wind speed, soil pH, and sunlight. Temperature, moisture, and food availability. Oxygen levels, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Elevation, cloud cover, and tillage. Nematodes are poikilothermic, cold-blooded, so temperature is the most critical driver of their metabolic rate. Moisture is necessary for movement and survival in soil pores, and the availability of nutrients from a suitable host plant determines the speed of development and egg production. Question 8. How do ectoparasitic nematodes differ from endoparasitic nematodes? Ectoparasites feed inside the plant, endoparasites feed outside. Ectoparasites feed on the outside of the plant, endoparasites feed on the inside. Ectoparasites only eat leaves, endoparasites only eat roots. There is no functional difference. Ectoparasites, like dagger or sting nematodes, remain in the soil and use their long stylets to feed on the outer cells of the root. Endoparasites, like root knot or lesion, actually enter the root tissue entirely. This difference is vital for sampling. Ectoparasites are found in soil samples, while endoparasites are often found within the plant roots themselves. Question 9. The genus Xiphenema is the scientific name for which common ectoparasitic nematode? Sting nematode, stubby root nematode, dagger nematode, needle nematode. Xiphenema species, known as dagger nematodes, are economically significant ectoparasites. They are particularly dangerous because, in addition to direct root damage, many species in this genus act as vectors for plant viruses, such as the grapevine fanleaf virus. Question 10. Which of the following nematodes is considered an endoparasite? Paratolenchus, pin. Meloidogyne, root knot. Longidoris, needle. Helicotylenchus, spiral. Meloidogyne, root knot, is a sedentary endoparasite. The J2 juvenile enters the root and establishes a permanent feeding site, causing the plant to form giant cells in the characteristic galls or knots seen on the root system. Question 11. Which two species of root lesion nematodes are most economically damaging to perennial crops in California? P. vulnus and P. penetrans. H. shactii and H. cruciferi. M. incognita and M. hapla. X. americanum and X. index. Pretolenchus vulnus and Pretolenchus penetrans are the primary lesion nematodes affecting California's orchards and vineyards. Unlike root knot nematodes, these are migratory endoparasites, meaning they move through the root cortex, killing cells as they feed and creating lesions that provide entry for secondary pathogens. Question 12. Which genus is associated with cyst nematodes? Pretolenchus, Heterodera, Meloidogyne, Bellanolamus. The genus Heterodera and Globodera contains the cyst-forming nematodes. Important California species include the sugar beet cyst nematode, H. shactii, and the cole crop cyst nematode, H. cruciferi. Question 13. Meloidogyne incognita is commonly known as the northern root knot nematode, southern root knot nematode, Javanese root knot nematode, peanut root knot nematode. Meloidogyne incognita is the southern root knot nematode. It is one of the most widely distributed and damaging species in warm climates, attacking a vast array of vegetable, field, and fruit crops. Question 14. Nematodes can move short distances, a few inches, using snake-like motions, but how do they typically travel long distances? By flying through the air during windstorms, through infected plant material, water, and contaminated equipment, by attaching themselves to birds and insects. They are stationary and do not move long distances. While nematodes are limited by their own locomotion, human activity facilitates their spread over miles and even continents. Moving nursery stock, sharing farm equipment without cleaning it, and the movement of irrigation water are the primary ways nematode infestations spread across California's agricultural landscape. Question 15. Which nematode exhibit sexual dimorphism? Lesion and dagger nematodes, cyst and root knot nematodes, spiral and stunt nematodes. All nematodes look the same regardless of sex. Sexual dimorphism, males and females looking different, is a hallmark of the sedentary endoparasites like root knot and cyst nematodes. Because the female must produce a large volume of eggs, she evolves into a swollen, non-mobile shape, while the male remains a slim, mobile worm to facilitate movement and mating. Question 16. Which genus describes spiral nematodes? Tylenchorhynchus, Helicotylenchus, Criconemoides, Trichoderus. Helicotylenchus is the genus for spiral nematodes. They are named for their tendency to curl into a spiral or C shape when relaxed or killed. They are generally considered ectoparasites or semi-endoparasites and are found in a wide variety of soils. Question 17. If you are looking for dagger nematodes, Xiphenema, where should you take your sample? From the leaves and stems, From the soil surrounding the roots. From the fruit of the plant. Only from the interior of the root tissue. Because Xiphenema is an ectoparasite, it spends its entire life in the soil outside the plant. To accurately diagnose an infestation, a soil sample from the rhizosphere, the area around the roots, is required. Question 18. Which nematode is known as the reniform nematode? Radiphalus similis, Rhotylenculus reniformis, Pertilenchus penetrans, Meloidogyne hapla. Rhotylenculus reniformis is the reniform nematode. Reniform means kidney-shaped, which describes the shape of the mature female. It is a semi-endoparasite of great concern in many tropical and subtropical crops. Question 19. The genus Mesocricoma refers to which common nematode type? Ring nematode, pin nematode, needle nematode, stubby root nematode. Ring nematodes, Mesocricoma or Cricomoides, are named for the prominent, coarse ridges, anules, that encircle their bodies, giving them a ringed appearance. They are slow-moving ectoparasites commonly found in orchards. Question 20. Which root knot species is specifically known as the northern root knot nematode? Meloidogyne incognita, Meloidogyne hapla, Meloidogyne javanica, Meloidogyne arenaria. Meloidogyne hapla is the northern root knot nematode. It is more tolerant of cold temperatures than M. incognita and is frequently found in the cooler production regions of California and the northern United States.